What's your ID?
Oh, you're bitch. You're pussy. You're bitch. You're bitch. You're not dropping it. You're bitch. Just a 187. This nigga.
You a crackhead, bro.
I dropped the fet right now, my boy.
Yeah, if you want, I'll meet you in that pizzeria, girl.
Nah, you skipped, bro. Now we gotta do you, bro. You skipped, bro. We gotta do you dirty, bro. Bro, you skipped. We gotta do you dirty, bro.
Wow. Is that because your girl gave you, chlamydia? You're mad at me now?
Chlamydia? Why do you sound like a fucking fruit cup?
Why you sound like a fruit cup, bro?
You're mad that chlamydia and she gave it to you?
You had chlamydia and you gave it to my girl?
Damn, me too.
Give it to me after you got it.
Why would I be mad then?
I don't know. You hate
Hey, bro, just come downstairs, bro. We waiting for you, bro. Just come downstairs, bro.
I can see out my window that there's nobody there.
So you really got this nigga looking out his window.
This dude's so pussy, bro. He don't want to come downstairs. We might have to leave the block because this nigga's scared as fuck, bro. Yeah, bro, because you won't come downstairs, bro. It's just simple as coming downstairs, bro.
Whatever the hell she said, and you're backing her up, and then you're using this as an example to support.
No, what I'm trying to say, JB, I
But
think with the right wait. I really believe with the right kind of counseling. When I say counseling, I don't mean no psychological or nothing like that. I'm saying the right person in her life could make her see that whatever happened to her to make her heart like that, we can point that energy in the right direction. And so I don't like tearing down people like that because I know the nation was built on prostitutes, drug addicts, prisoners, and everything else. See, I don't see reforms, and maybe your life is a little bit different than JB. Angry Man life's a little more different now, but he understands what I'm saying, even if he don't agree with my way of thinking now. He understands where I'm coming from, and I think he really understands where I'm coming. When it really comes down to it, I don't think we hate each other. I don't think our philosophy might be different, but he understands the teaching I came under.
But listen,
we are the original gods on this planet,
OG,
and we don't have to submit to a lot of things. So I see this young lady who I see her. I've been seeing her for a while on these channels, and I see that she's not a dummy. That's number one. She know what she feels. She just gonna have to channel that energy into a more of a positive way where she can put herself in a situation where she cannot look at everything black and white and be able to pick the right fights at the right time. Cause I had to learn that too. I can't pick every fight, but pick the right fight at the right time.
OG, look, here's the thing. When it comes to that, okay, officer asked me to get on my knees. I'm gonna say to him, officer, I cannot do that. That goes against my religious beliefs. I'll sit down, but I'm not gonna get on my knees, right? And here's the thing: if you get locked up and you tell the COs and you tell them in there that you are Muslim, when they bring out the food, they do not bring you no swine. They do not bring that. That is within the confines of the law. So I'm not talking about that. I'm not talking about cops that just want to be pricks. I'm talking about the mentality of the nation that, yo, we're not going to go out here and just break the law just to be fucking doing it, to be on some revolutionary shit. But see, you got black folk that think that being revolutionary just means breaking the damn law.
Okay,
See what I'm
I
saying?
don't want to get that impression. I don't want to never give anybody that impression. That's why we are clean. That's why we do wear clean suits, white shirts, and shiny shoes. because we wanted to be the example of what we want our community to be. So he is correct 100% when it comes to that. We are not breaking society. What we try to do, we move within the laws of the land. And I had to be deputized in the Million Man March. I had to be deputized as an officer in the Million Man March. A lot of people don't know that. So what I'm trying to say is, we're not law. We don't break the law. But what we do fight. We do stand up and fight against injustice, regardless of what the color is or anything.
OG, let me tell you, and the reason why I don't really focus on the race thing, because when I first moved to Georgia, I had an issue with somebody at a store. It was a person that worked in the store about a charge on my card, where I was actually almost cuffed, and I was cuffed in the back of the car. Because I cooperated with the police, he let me go. 2 white officers. That's why I don't buy into this whole all black, all white thing. You know, you have to cooperate with people. All this lady had to do was sign the ticket and let it go. That would be the best. Just like me, I didn't argue with the officers. I felt like I was right. And guess what, OG? I took it to court and won because I knew I was right all along. So, you know, the whole thing was cooperate with people. That's authority. That's just like my job. I'm not going to disrespect my managers on my job. You have to respect authority regardless of whether or not you disagree with them. You take it to higher levels where there's, you know, human resources, or right to see or the manager or the higher manager. But the thing was, she just disrespected authority. Now, I was trying to understand what you were saying, right, as far as he didn't tell her, you know, when he placed his hands on her, he didn't tell her he was going to jail. He warned her so many times on so many levels. I don't know why we trying to circumvent that fact. She was so wrong. And see, what we have to do as black people is we have to start holding each other accountable. That's the thing. Black women don't ever want to be held accountable. How do you know that this man didn't give 3 white people tickets that apart, give 3 white people tickets in the park earlier that day? Seemed like he was working that area. I don't know why we trying to give this young lady a pass. She was wrong on so many levels. She called.
Yes, and I admitted that she was wrong on a lot of levels. But what I did say is, when you're in authority, I get it around my house. I'm in authority of people a lot, believe it or not. Some of these people take 7, 8 meds, you know, and some of them take up to 12. Sometimes I have to catch myself because I start to get so used to the people I'm thinking they regular minded without knowing all the experiences and everything. So I had to learn to humble myself with dealing with people. I think there's just a media play. I think there's a lot of things involved, and one of the biggest things I think need to come back, because the first officer ever got me in the boxing ring was a white officer. And in fact, he took me to his doctor. So I had a heart murmur, and they weren't gonna let me box. And he got me on a eating program where I could eat liver for like a year, and then it would close that hole in my heart. So I don't have this pushback on when it comes down. A lot of people think people from Nation Islam, we have this pushback on a person's skin color more than we do the person's act itself. Because we believe devils, and I understand what Elijah Muhammad said, but we believe devils is a door of evil, regardless of what color it is. You will have some devils all different colors. So what I'm saying to myself is, I understand what this new generation like tyranny and some of the people who live, because they get so fluctuated with all this negative news, people getting shot without guns and all this, and then you see a man get assassinated right there in front of your eyes, and so there's some chips on the shoulders on both sides. And what I'm trying to say is, I believe that one of the biggest things that happen to in America, we get back to community policing, where the people who police the area somewhat live in the area what they police. And I'm telling you, a lot of police back in the day, they used no. Listen to what I'm saying, JB. See, you didn't know this was a thing in America. At one time,
I know. I'm not shaking my head for that reason.
Okay. So at one time, see, it's kind of hard. See, once you build that relationship with community policing, you'd be surprised how much information you get. You'll be surprised how much people will be willing to talk to you because they build a relationship with them. Now, I'm not saying y'all gonna be sitting around, going around in circles saying kumbaya, and y'all keep thinking this is new generation. It's totally different. I understand. There's a new generation. It's totally different.
work like that.
But let me
these
tell
days,
you
OG.
But
something
you
about
can't even talk to people. You can't even
Yeah,
tell
no,
nobody.
I understand.
Something.
So
It's not like
we
the old
proved
days.
that. Wait, hey,
know what
we
I'm
proved
saying?
that point on the internet. I understand without even having a uniform on. We proved that point on the internet. So
You
what I'm
can't even
trying
talk
to
to
say
nobody's
is,
kids.
no, what I'm trying to say is, just because we just can't be scared of our children. We can't be scared to try something when we're seeing things getting out of whack. We can't turn this into a police state, man. We can't. Everybody got guns. You know, they say it's enough guns for 3 guns for every American in America.
OG, here's the problem, OG.
We
OG, here's
just
the
can't.
problem.
No, I know what you're gonna say, JB, but I'm trying to stay. I'm trying to stay on the positive side of it, bro.
Nah, OG,
I'm like this. Wait a minute. I'm like JB. Let me just finish this. I'm like this, bro. JB, I'm like this. I look at things like this. Your mind is just like the ground. Whatever seed you plant in it, that's what you start producing. So I'm not going. No, seriously. When a police put on his uniform, the first thing he say that I'm gonna come home safe, but I know I'm gonna have some trouble, and that's exactly what he's finding. So when we start putting things, when we start, the reason why I want to stay on the positive side of this, JB,
It's not about
is
positive,
because
OG. It's not about
no,
positive.
listen, JB, this is why I want to stay on the positive side of this. We can always keep playing this drama of what's wrong, what we doing wrong, what somebody else is
It's not
doing
about
wrong.
positive. It's about being
No.
realistic.
The positive part about this whole thing is, the positive thing about this whole thing to me is, thank you for that. I needed that. And matter of fact, my spinal cord, it needed to be popped, and it popped my spinal cord. So thank you for that. Whoever did it. So y'all can stay negative all you want to, my
It's
brother.
not about negative,
To me,
OG.
No, I'm just saying, y'all can keep talking about the negative of the community and all that other stuff. I'm
it's
just in
not
a
about
different frame of mind now. I'm
it's
in
not
a
a-
different frame of mind now. If I don't have a
OG.
solution, and then I'm not gonna keep talking about the problem.
It's like, OG,
To
here's the
me,
thing.
I
It's
want to talk
negative.
about what they always come back. And somebody put that dog out his misery. Somebody put that dog out his misery.
Who is that?
I got a better sound effect than that.
I think
But
that's.
I just feel like
police.
community policing will help some of this problem.
Hey, OG, back here, it was a couple years ago in Atlanta, right? This 16, I think he was like a teenager or something, right? He broke in somebody's house and basically he was taken out. You know what the mother and sister said? All he wanted to do was take your stuff. All he wanted, I mean, you can look this up. All he wanted, they telling the homeowner, you have to take out my son. All he wanted was to get some stuff. He needed some shoes or whatever. That's bull crap. We sit up there and let stuff like that slide. So you're talking about policing our own communities. We can't even talk to our own children. We can't talk to the neighbors' children. I worked for Atlanta Public Schools for 5 years. Trust me, the teachers were like, you can be, oh my God, do you understand what some of these teachers was telling me?
But a lot of those mothers raise them boys, raise those kids to be rebellious against authority.
Jay Prince, hold up real quick. So, Arissa, here's what I was trying to say, right? Jay Prince, I know that, not Jay Prince, sorry, I mean OG J speak. I know that sounds good and all, and living with people, you gotta realize these days, it's actually dangerous for police to live within the community. Like, it's actually, this again, just talk to active cops about that concept, and you realize how much fear they have to, and it's not just imaginary fear, because they patrol these communities and people literally hurl swears at them, and people even throw spit at them, all types of shit that they have to actually deal with on the day-to-day from black people. So this idea of community policing and these cops just having to deal with that, like, that's a crazy idea. But on top of that, the real issue is
it's a good idea.
Hold up. The real issue is not the cops, OG. The real issue is we need to fix the people, right? The people need to understand this is an authority figure. Fuck what you want to do. This is an authority figure. A cop might stop me, it's gonna be an inconvenience. It might even upset me, but he's an authority. At that point in time, I need to listen to what that man is saying. But when you have a group of people that are just belligerent, that want to fight the cops, that's where the real problem is. And to the point about the revolutionaries, here's what I found very interesting, right? Because I always see this. All these people who claim to be revolutionaries, one thing I always find that's very funny is Tyranny came up here. She's saying, we need to have the revolutionary mindset. I'm pro-black first and all this, right? But she's also one of the people that has disrespected damn near everybody on this panel and other people who haven't been on this panel who are all black. So for some reason, these pro-black people are also some of the most disrespectful towards black people. Some of the most rude, right?
Stop it, JB.
All types of names and shit. So I just find it funny. I just find it funny that
Hey, JB, stop it. Stop it.
Hold on, guys. Hold on.
I don't
Aaron.
agree with JB.
I don't see but one person on this panel but Aaron, and maybe what's the name who has not been disrespected one time or another. This is
Okay,
stop
hold on.
it.
Let me jump in. So JB, the reason why I disagree with what you're saying is, if she don't look at us as black people because she thinks our mind are controlled by white people, that is the appropriate response in her mind, right? So I want to say that first. But let's be clear. That's how it works in their mind.
even though topics that have nothing to do with this, like have y'all seen?
No, but JB, we ain't gotta force ourselves to try to understand why that makes sense to her. I understand.
But JB, haven't you figured out, bro, that the revolutionary ideology is just an excuse to be lawless?
Yep.
Yeah.
But let me follow up. Hold on before we jump into that.
But what about the
Hold on, J Prince, hold on. Community policing is the biggest load of crap I've ever heard. Because the people that say these things are not lining up to do it. As a matter of fact, because listen, I'm one of those people get to speak. From coming from where they need community policing the most, I come from those communities. Section 8 housing, government subsidies, all of that. That's all the violence in my city, the number one area. I come from there, so I know exactly where they need the most policing. And you know what? Let me tell you something. If I went to the community, because we don't have them, but let's just say I went into those neighborhoods and I said, hey guys, who would you guys like to police you guys? Show us the people that y'all want to run to police this neighborhood that y'all would listen to if they came in and try to get everybody in the quarters. Who they gonna pick? All the people ain't gonna want to do it. And the people that would have control in those communities would most likely be the people that commit the most violence and the most crime. So it's a conversation.
well, you got
The only people they're gonna be afraid of in the community to respect their authority is gonna be the fucking dope boys and the kingpin, and they're only gonna respect them out of fear. You feel what I'm saying? They're only gonna obey whatever, and they're not gonna tell them to do nothing productive. You feel what I'm saying? So it's like,
what's the difference from white cops? When you think about the white communities, those white cops, they are practicing community policing. They look like them. This is the reason why a lot of whites get along with their officers and stuff, because they feel like officers is protecting them and they are on the same.
I live in Sandy Springs. Is one of the most expensive places in Atlanta. Trust me, them white people do not respect officers, period. So you can cut it out.
Maybe because a lot of those officers are black.
Wait. So Jay Prince, them white folks ain't shooting up
A lot
the
of those
neighborhoods, bro.
officers is black in Atlanta.
Huh?
No, they shoot up schools and churches and grocery stores.
OG, stay focused on what we're
I can't hear you. What you say, Jay Prince?
No,
I'm sorry.
wait,
Majority of them officers
yeah,
black
said
end up in the ATL.
You said white officers. Because hold on, OG, keep talking. I'm sorry.
I said maybe
I'm
because
sorry.
most of those officers are black in ATL.
No, it's a lot of white officers right out here in Sandy Springs and Atlanta. That's not true, JB. When I gave my almost arrest story, that was on the south side. That was white officers protecting over there by Riverdale area, Morrow area.
Why do you need that authority? Like blacks didn't always have authority. Didn't need white cops or their idea of policing.
Bro, even with the cops, do you
We
see
didn't
what
always have to have.
Wait, but hold on, guys, before y'all attacking. Wait, Jay Prince, what are you referencing when we did not have white police officers policing? When are you referencing this? What's your reference?
We was conditioned to do all the criminal, what we consider to be criminal activities and all this other stuff.
But they were policed by white officers. What time in history were white police officers not policing black people? What are you referencing?
Before America.
Jay Prince, I knew you was gonna come up here with some extra.
because we gotta take that stuff
I
into
I think it's my
consideration.
last bottle of water.
In order for us to get to get, see, that's why history is very important.
Are you talking about? Wait, are you
We
talking
tend to
about?
think that
OG?
black people can't act right unless we have these white cops on our ass. Or the police
J
on our
Prince,
ass.
J Prince, J Prince,
We
J
seem
Prince.
to
Are you
think-
talking about J Prince? Are you talking about Africa?
I'm
Because
just
if you
saying, before all of this stuff,
wait. Because if you're talking about Africa, I really suggest you go over there and see how Africans live.
I understand they live fucked up now because a lot of people been raping they whole shit, causing them to react in a different way. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is this: we got this idea that blacks need to have authority because that's what's been happening to us since we've been here in America.
Humans need to have authority.
Who do the whites have authority of? Because it seems like ain't nobody got no charge of whites.
What are you
Who
talking
do
about?
the whites have authority of?
Hey, Chris, do you realize that in ancient history, Rome's had people policing the area? If you didn't pay a tax, there was a fine for it. Either could have been death or jail.
No, what I'm
You-
saying is
Wait.
white
You do
police
realize, wait,
everybody else, but who
there were
police?
laws for slavery in the Roman in ancient days as well. After a certain amount of time, depending on your area and what you believe, you could be released after 7 years. You do realize there's always been laws in some form of authority because there are people who just want to be unruly. My question is, if you're saying why do we need these authorities? Why did you do the things that you did to get locked up? Who forced you, and why didn't you follow the law?
See, now this the thing. See, there's another thing that black people don't understand.
It's the white man.
We live under somebody else's rules. It's almost like we live in somebody else's house.
There's rules everywhere.
What y'all describing, we people, black people is living in another man's house and we gotta follow their order.
Yo,
White men don't have to follow.
I know it.
They don't have to follow our orders. Like we got to follow
Hey,
theirs.
Chris, yes, they do. If you're a black officer, guess what? They gotta follow what you say too.
I'm not talking about no black officers.
So what are you talking about? You just want to be lawless.
No,
Okay, so
they
you
not
always go back to that.
making no laws.
What he's trying to say,
Jay
Cheeky,
Prince,
when
wait,
they
wait,
wrote
wait.
the Constitution,
wait,
they
wait,
did not
wait.
include us. That's
wait.
what he's really saying.
Right.
Hold on, Jay Prince. Let me understand you first. Hold on, let me understand you. Which laws do you want to be taken away? So that way, because which laws you disagree with, so that you feel like they're not white people laws that you said are not fair. Like for instance, they shouldn't exist because black people would never write those laws.
I would say all of them till blacks have some type of influence in writing all of in helping. If we gonna police, I feel like this. Everybody that live in America, if y'all want to say we equal and all this other stuff, everybody should have some type of wrote some of these laws as well. Negotiate a lot of these laws. A lot of these laws was written by.
Do you even no wait. Before you start spewing stuff, because on your show you can do all that lying you want, right? But here,
name some blacks that wrote laws.
Whatever people that are in Congress right now, whatever law that just passed, they were part of it. You cannot debunk that.
How many blacks just up in Congress?
Either way,
Don't switch
Who wrote the law? Is it right or is it wrong? Who gives a shit about the law?
You know how many black people are in Congress?
I don't know. I never been to it.
The percentage of black people in Congress is direct correlation of the population of black people. Did you know that? Did you know that? Did you know that population? Did you know that our representation in Congress?
Ain't nobody white.
Listen. Our representation in Congress is a direct correlation to our population. Did you know that? So if you wanted more, and I know OG ain't gonna agree with this, a whole lot of people ain't gonna agree with this. If you want more black people in Congress, stop your woman from freaking deleting the damn babies.
And that's true, but you gotta do something hand in hand with that. Because laws they're writing in Congress, all the laws they're writing in Congress still come under the umbrella of the Constitution when we were 3/5 of a human being. Now let's just deal with that. Since you want to talk about laws,
Okay,
let's deal with that.
Let's deal with it.
The
All right,
14 is not taking it away. So
they
don't
gonna-
tell me the 14 did, because I proved the 14 didn't take it away.
Okay, OG, we're gonna deal with it. We get rid of all the laws that white man brought. Is it still wrong to steal?
No. Listen what I'm saying, Chicken.
Wait, no.
I asked that question. No, it's not. I think, look, I would go back and cut off people's hands for stealing. So don't even ask me that one. So what I'm saying, Chicken, it's not so much when people say things like, I think Jay Prince.
OG, you said that you fought a case and won it, right?
No, listen, okay, let me finish this.
Hold on, let me just answer that real quick. You said you fought a case,
and I fought like hell.
So how in the hell did you fight a case in the United States of America in a court of law and win it if you're 3/5 of a human being?
Okay, again, because I use, listen, I use they shit against them. Okay? I think it's
do that when you was a slave. Hold on, could you do that? Okay. Could you do that when you was a slave?
Let me finish, because I know you're trying to tie me up in the corner, because I'm not going to get in that conversation, bro. You can't tie me up in the corner. Let me take what I got to say. Because of what we still say today, all the laws comes under the umbrella of the Constitution. And we can't get away from that. Again, we will never. And then there is another landmark case that y'all don't want to ever discuss.
You literally just ignored what I said, and that's not logical.
No, I didn't. I know I didn't.
Wait a minute. Wait.
They made, there's a law to go against it. Even though what you saying, man, if you're smart enough, you understand that. For every law they ever written, I'm talking about city codes, state codes, every law they ever written, there's a law to go against it. That's how white people able to get off. It has they get better representation in that courtroom. So I understand what you're trying to tie me in that corner, but you can't tie me in that corner, bro. I'm more smarter than that.
No, you're not. No, it's not that I'm tying you in a corner. What it is I'm making a logical statement, but because it does not fit the narrative that you're pushing, you don't want to have that conversation. When black people were slaves, listen to what I'm saying. When black people were slaves, they couldn't fight no case in court. They couldn't do none of that shit. In fact, when they had the Emancipation Proclamation, there were a lot of states that were utilizing loopholes in the Bill of Rights not to give black people their freedom. And guess what black people was doing? They were suing for their freedom. Something that they would not have been able to do when they were slaves.
So
and I know you want to say
I hate when y'all do this.
Wait,
I hate when y'all do this. That's what they give us a little piece.
Let me handle this, Jay Prince. I don't want to tag team. Let me handle this. Go ahead, Anger Man. Go ahead.
Hold on. Let me finish. And I know you want to say that the 14th Amendment didn't get rid of it, right? I disagree. And we'll probably never agree on that, right? But here's the thing. The entire reason they made the 14th Amendment was because of the fact that they figured out that there was a damn loophole that each individual state was using in order to continue doing a lot of goofy shit to black people. That was the main reason for the 14th Amendment. Now here's the thing. After that, you have black people in this country right now who can go to court, win fucking cases, win landmark cases. They would have never been able to do that if they were still under the 3/5 rule.
Thank you, Anchorman.
Okay, are you finished? Can I answer your question now? So, listen to this, Anger Man. Listen to this. Y'all can do what you want to do. Listen to this. Why do we have to vote? Black people are the only nationality in the United States of America. They have to have a vote in Congress every 15 years for us to be able to vote. Stop right there. Let me move a little further. There's an executive order to give us special permission to join armed services. Now, we had servicemen come on in and verify that. So if we were all citizens and all under the equal rights of the Constitution, Why do we have to have special provision to do things that everybody else has a human right to do? Answer them two questions.
Right. Don't get treated like humans in America.
OG,
Can you answer that, Chicky? Why do you have to vote? You've been in service, right?
I can answer that. The reason why they came, or you asked them why they came up with the list, what they had everything.
No, I'm not answering you that question. The two questions I asked you, Chicky, you asked me a question, I want to answer. I want to ask you again. Why is it, because you've been in service, right?
Go ahead.
Why is it black people, African, black descendants of slavery, have to have a special executive order for us to join the branches of the United States military?
Because we weren't allowed to.
No, why we still have to have that even today if we were all citizens and treated equality?
Some of the laws are antiquated. I can't answer.
Okay, but they're still there. That law can be taken away anytime.
OG, that's fine. I'm not going to argue that point.
Okay, let me ask you the second one. If we are citizens of this country, why did Congress have to come together every 15 years to give us the right to vote?
I don't think that's. I think you may be missing.
And I don't worry about what you think. I want you to know. Why do Congress have to come together every 15 years?
Go ahead.
15 years, you can't even answer the first one, so I'm going to give you a leeway on the second one. Y'all can look this up right now. Why is it that we have to have civil rights when we don't have human rights like every other nationality and every other person in this country? Why we have to have
What
special
law?
provision?
OG, what
Can I
specific
answer
law?
your
OG,
question? Can I
OG,
answer
what
the
specific
question? Wait. I
OG,
can
what
answer.
specific law?
Wait. I can answer
What
the
specific
question.
law you talking
Wait.
about, OG? What
Wait.
specific
Now,
law?
I'm talking to Chicky. Chicky, have you ever heard of these two things I
Wait.
What
said?
specific law?
Chicky, have you ever heard of these two things I ever said?
I can answer the question.
When I ask Chicky, have you ever heard of these two things I just mentioned?
Can you name the law, OG?
Heard of the first, but I've not heard of the second.
All right, the person from the military, I can look it up, right? Well, we're looking at it right now, so I can quote it as it says. All right.
OG, please name the law.
OG, because I was looking at something that's
about
not
to do
true.
it.
There's something that in 1965, there's a law that guarantees our right to vote. So I have
The
no idea.
Voting Right Act do not cover what I just said.
Oh,
It has it. Listen to what I'm saying,
Some of us
Matt.
are different.
I want to be respectful. Okay, this is not about opinion. This is about actual facts of laws now.
Okay, can you
All
name the law?
right. What is the executive order to keep black men in the military service?
OG.
Executive Order
Hold on,
9981.
All right, say it again.
OG. If Orissa just cited, wait, because we're talking about law.
I want to deal with your question, bro.
We're talking about laws. If Orissa just stated Voters' Rights Act that guarantees you something, and you're saying that there's another law that contradicts that, then guess what? That's what that means. That means that shit can be fought if it was ever exercised in a negative way.
What it means.
Why you have to fight it? Because we live in a country. Because we live in a damn. Wait a minute. Wait. The reason you have to fight it is because that's the way the fucking country works.
And that's the problem.
If you want, guess what? No, let me finish what I'm saying. Because you do this all the time, Jay Prince. If you want to be able to have, it's no different than when you're in your mama's house and your daddy's house.
Exactly like what I was saying earlier.
If you want,
It's
so
not
guess
our
what?
house.
So guess what? We've been on that. If this was our damn house, wait a minute.
Stop trying to pretend like we just all
If
of
this was,
all of
I
us
can't
equal to
pretend like
everybody else.
anything because I can't get my fucking thought out.
Go ahead.
First of all, we know this is not our goddamn house. We've been on this. This is the reason why. This is the reason why our forebearers were slaves. Okay.
Stop pretending like you didn't.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing. White people are not gonna destroy the Constitution. Okay? They're not. So guess what? Because there is a 3/5 clause in there, that's the reason why they have to keep doing that shit. OG. That's
So
your
they
answer.
still look at us like
but no, it's gonna keep it.
Hold
The
on.
nine, as I understand
here. Wait, I thought
It's,
we're
it's
dealing in
gonna
facts here.
always be
Can,
denied.
Y'all
when they
said
try
that
to
America is equal,
I
we
thought
are
we're dealing in
equal, but
facts.
yet they still got the same constitutional rules.
America,
Hold up. OG, can
America,
you please name the
America
laws?
is
OG, can you please name the laws?
America. Jay Prince. America is a country that is based upon laws. Okay, it is
Can you
based
name the
upon
laws?
it is based upon all of these different things. If you want to do anything in this country, fight anything in this country, you have to do it through paperwork because this country is set up like a corporation.
Okay, thank
You
you.
understand what I'm saying?
Yes, I
Wait,
understand.
guys, can we not get past this? OG, can you
Who's more
please name the
affected
laws?
by these laws?
Wait, Jay Prince, hold up. OG, can you please name the laws that you're referring to? Like, we can't get past that because when you make statements like that, you gotta back
Right.
it up.
You gotta,
Can you
so I'm
please,
looking at something. Go ahead.
can you please
OG,
name the
what's
two
law?
laws that you just brought it up, but you did not back it up? Can you please name them? Both of them. We can't get past that.
I muted myself because I didn't want to interfere with somebody else's conversation, but here we go. All right. Let's just start with this, okay?
The executive order.
In June of 1941, President Roosevelt issued an executive order, 8802. Read it for your damn self. I just brought you the information.
You said 8802. Executive Order 8802.
I said 8802.
Okay.
Okay, because I'm looking at executive order 9981.
Exactly.
Harry Truman
You-
signed.
wait, chicken. The thing about it is, y'all
What's the
remember
second
when?
one? Hold up. What's the
Hold on,
second
wait,
one?
wait,
OG?
Wait. Let's
You
get
said
the first one.
8802. I'm looking at it.
What's the second one, OG? What's the second one?
And y'all gotta understand. Maybe Angry Man can tell y'all what an executive order is.
I know what an
That
executive.
means
Can you just tell us what the second one is? Or
No, what you deal with the first one, JP? You ain't looked at the
I
first
know
one.
what an executive order is. You don't have to explain it to me.
Okay, what I'm saying, you ain't looked at the first one. Look at the first one.
I know, but before you guys move on, just tell me
No,
what
we
the
gonna
second
look
one
at
is.
that one. Let's look at the first one first.
Can you tell me what the second one is, OG?
OG, it
And
doesn't
y'all
make
can
sense.
continue our conversation.
Right, it doesn't make sense to skip. Just give us both the information so we can look them. Right, I think that's fair to do.
Okay, that is fair to
We
do.
got executive order 8802, which I'm looking into now. Then I've got right next to that executive order
Alright.
9981.
All right.
So where
What's
is
the second one?
Hold on, bro. I'm gonna make it so you can bring it up. Since y'all wanna go this, y'all
OG,
wanna
no,
go this
can we not
deep.
do that? OG, just name the second one and
No,
y'all
no,
can
I want
continue
y'all
our
to bring it.
conversation.
we don't
I'm
I
gonna
don't
pull it up so you bring it up, bro.
If you have a basic understanding of civics, then you understand this. When it comes to the Constitution, they do not eliminate things from the Constitution. What they do is they amend it. Okay. So when you have amendments and you have certain things that you renew, you do that so that you're not falling back under the old shit.
We're not
That's
talking
why.
about amendments. We're talking about executive
OG,
orders
can you
now.
tell us the second one, please? Like the second one. Like, nah, respectfully, OG, I'm not gonna let you slide past that. When you make a statement like that,
Bro, you
just
asked
make
me
it a
for the
statement
first,
of
I
fact.
gave you the first. You ain't looked at this.
No, OG, I wanna,
what you trying to
no,
bring to
we
people.
go, no,
I'm
OG,
gonna pull it up
no,
on the
'cause we
site.
gonna go down the
I'm
rabbit
gonna
hole.
pull it up where everybody can see it.
We gonna go
I'm
down,
gonna
no,
pull it up
OG,
where
Oh
everybody
my God,
no,
bro.
we gonna go down the
Pull it up
rabbit
right
hole.
now.
Just name the second one.
8802 is what I'm looking at.
Just no, OG, just name the second one. Name the second one.
Is it the 8802?
Wait. Oh, Marissa, I want OG to name the second one.
Oh,
He said
okay.
his too. OG, name the second one. Are you there?
Hello?
Hold on. Just give me a second.
Am I the only one that knows you have to renew certain laws? Am I the only one that knows that?
Right, Taylor.
No, Angry Man, I got what you're saying, but I don't want to let, because the thing is, OG gonna go down the rabbit hole with you, and I want to hold him to the facts first before y'all go down this rabbit hole. I want him to provide the two laws that he's referring to, and then y'all can go down y'all rabbit hole. So OG, can you unmute and tell us the second one?
What's the all this protection for America?
Oh, stop,
Jay Prince, can you, Jay Prince, bro?
This is not
Stop.
about this is fact checking.
Yeah, this is fact checking, bro. We don't just say shit. We don't just say shit.
Which is why if I don't know, I said I didn't know. But if you're gonna give me information, then let me verify. right? So I've got two different executive orders up. Executive Order 8802, two different presidents. And when I'm reading into this, it's saying that it's banning it, right? So when you bring up a statement like every 15 years you gotta vote, there's still a meeting being held, then that needs to be known, right? Here's what I'm doing. I'm allowing OG as an OG to teach. So give me your source.
When you say banning it, right? You're talking about the practice, right?
I don't
The
know what
practice
he's
of the
talking about.
Voters' Right Act has to be
Yes.
voted on every 15 to 20 years.
Yeah.
I'm just leaving it down on the table.
Yeah, but what I'm hearing from
What was the
people
second
is,
thing you were referring to?
That
That was
was
the
it.
second thing.
That
The
was the
Voting
second
Right
thing.
Act has to be voted on every 15 to 20 years. Executive order can be kicked out at any. What I'm trying to bring here, JB, that you want to laugh about, if we were all the same citizens of this country, if we were all the same citizens, we would have to have special provision. And nobody can tell me have the Drew Scott decision ever been overturned.
OG, you know that.
Overturned yet.
OG, you know that's not true, right?
It's nullified by the 14th Amendment.
No, it's not.
You know that's not true what you just said, right, OG?
No.
This is crazy.
Wait.
This is crazy.
Okay, when you see y'all laugh at this stuff like that, but there's scholars who will put y'all under the
Just
table.
y'all laugh that on-
who
Babe,
do
I
this
got
stuff
family that's
living.
attorneys, so that's not true.
No, I'm
Just
talking
laugh
about
on-
attorney. I'm talking about scholars. I'm not talking about no attorney. I'm talking about
Well, they know
scholars.
the law. They know the law. No black attorneys that know the law. Right? Calm down. So cut it out. Just stop it.
They
They
get
know the law.
paralegals to go look up all this bullshit. So
No,
most
no.
of them don't even know the law. They know the basics. When they come
No,
out
my
of the law school, they
cousin
know
been
the-
an attorney
No,
for 40
you
years.
don't
He
come
knows
out of law
all
school,
the laws,
sweetie.
civil
No,
rights,
no.
everything. So
Do you
cut it out.
understand that?
I'm
You
saying that.
don't. Why you think they had to do their research? Why you think they use
Okay,
paralegals? If
okay.
they knew the law, they would have to use these people.
Oh, they do.
Paralegals most of the time know more laws than attorneys themselves.
No, they don't. That's
You
like
know how
saying
this
your
system
facts
works.
How
know
many
more
cases
than I
This
has
is the
has your
problem. This is why black
It is
attorneys.
so
This is why
naive, right?
attorneys don't like. This is why attorneys don't like black people to ever get on the witness stand. Because when they come up with this, we know this, we know that, we know this. Guilty.
Right. Hold on, OG.
What?
Hold on, OG. Hold on, please hold on. I told my story 1,000
That's why he
times
was the best.
about, hold on,
You don't
OG.
get Johnny Cochran every day. He
No,
was the best.
OG.
Right.
My
You don't
brother
get Johnny Cochran every day.
was acquitted on a charge of murder, and he was acquitted by a mainly white jury. So cut it out. I'm so tired of this.
That's a rare
race shit.
case.
I'm
That's
so
not an
tired.
everyday
Y'all
case.
had-
so
y'all
tired.
had 2 or 3
I'm
other
so
women
tired.
that
No,
came in. Hey, chicken.
That's a
no,
rare
no,
case.
no.
Hey, chicken. I first said this. Chicken.
Most black
I
niggas
first said
out
this
now.
almost a month ago.
That's
You
a
had
lie.
2 military men
By
come
black
up
people.
and agree on exactly what I said.
All right, hold on. Okay, let me say something because you've been talking for like 2 hours, man. Hold on. In 1868, the 14th Amendment overturned the Dred Scott decision by granting citizenship to all those born in the United States, regardless of color.
They don't really uphold that shit in real life though. Y'all ain't never been to court. I've been in court.
Stop moving the goalposts.
None of that shit.
Stop moving the goalposts.
In the real life of court,
Stop
they
moving the
don't give a fuck about no amendment rights, no
I did
constitution.
an entire
They
show.
wanna lock your black ass up.
I did an entire show. I did an
How
entire
many of
show.
y'all ever had to fight the law before?
I did an entire show going into detail, citing the sources as to why the 14th Amendment nullified the Dred Scott case. Y'all keep saying that same shit over and over. It's not true.
And you waste your time because there are scholars who are much smarter than you.
Y'all can't get
really pushing that.
Have them holler at me, I will debate them. Have them holler at me, I will debate them.
They don't look,
Make nobody real life.
they don't look down, they look up. These people I'm talking about, they don't look down, bro. They look up. Okay?
Your
You know what they
constitution.
saying, bro?
check this
As
out. Check this
intelligent
out.
that you
OG,
are, you're very intelligent. Hey, wait,
OG,
you're very
check this out.
intelligent. Amen. You're very intelligent, but we're talking about lawyers who spent their whole life in law.
OG.
You're very intelligent, bro, but I'm talking about brothers who spend their whole life. Those
OG.
who are professors in law school who understand these laws.
They, I never beat things. I play a gift for it.
OG,
I'm
check this out. OG.
Cause I ain't that damn stupid.
As far as those scholars looking down, that's your opinion. Because there's plenty of scholars that are PhDs that are way above me that quote me, bro. So cut that out, man. You're not the only. You're not the only. You're not the only.
I'm not talking you down. So this is not about a dick conversation test right about now.
I didn't say it was.
OG. What I'm just saying, I'm pretty sure you said that earlier. There are scholars there are people, professors, master degrees, and they quote you. I understand that. But there's another world out there, brothers who have spent their whole life, who have taught in institutions and everything law, and they understand exactly what I'm saying because I did this with them. They make me do my own research. I thought the Jews scribe decision. But if you look at the letter of the law in the third paragraph of the Constitution, what it says, that black people were and they only used that because they wanted us not to have a voting block. So what I'm trying to tell you is they never corrected the word. When you correct something, you have to use the same words to correct something you were trying to correct. And they never used that word. That's why you have scholars now saying that black people are not really citizens of this country.
OG. I wrote my letter just like you do.
Okay. So you know supreme wisdom.
So you know I'm not just gonna half-ass say some shit. You know I did my research.
Thank you.
I'm not gonna just half-ass say some shit.
Okay. So, brother, I give it to you. You had to recite. You wrote your letter. You learned the supreme wisdom more than any nation that has 33. We learned that in first week of going. I give you that, angry man. But what I'm telling you right now is why we are treated the way we are treated in this country, because we are looked at as special. And the reason why we look at special, these laws that we keep talking about that covers everybody else, a person can come in here and have nationality and get a citizenship from another country, and they don't have to go through the things we go through, and we are native born in this country. We got to have special provision of us, and this is why a lot of people look at us differently, because we don't understand these things are going on in the background, and we keep wondering why we get treated differently. Yes, we could be the best of anything we put our mind to. That's the problem. The problem is if you got laws on the books, it says that you are executive order by the president. The only way you get the joint armed services is by this executive order for any other any other citizen when doing the service without that provision. That shows you are different.
But didn't you say to me, the reason that you won your case is because you used their own laws against them? You said that, right?
Most certainly.
So if I have a situation where I feel like my rights as a citizen is being violated, you think I'm not going to fight that all the way to the Supreme Court using the fucking 14th Amendment? You think I'm not going to do that?
Gave you your clearance. You did what you need to do. You know a lot. Just me and you talking. You know we can't discuss what we know. You know a lot more than the average person. You know what fucks them up with me? My vernacular. They don't understand the wisdom of supreme wisdom that I know. And I like it that way sometimes because they don't see me coming. So I know what you know, but you know that the average person that you are talking to, angry man, they ain't gonna know what you know.
But you know, OG, that coming from my background, similar to your background, I will never sit up here and say that these, I'm not gonna say the word, I'm not gonna say the C word.
Okay.
So you know what I'm saying. I'm never gonna sit up here and say that they have any real power over me.
and me neither. And that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying is they can make all the laws they want to. Did I say this earlier? They make a law against the natural order of things of me being an Asian addict black man. I'm sorry. I'm bucking against that one. That's all I'm saying. But everybody don't have the luxury to do that because they don't have the wisdom or the knowledge. They have the schooling, they have the education, but they don't have supreme wisdom. And you know there's a difference between education and supreme wisdom.
But here's the thing: black people gotta, the thing about it, and I notice you do this a lot, J Prince, and I'm not trying to pick on you. Black people gotta get out. You gotta get out of your feelings about certain things and learn the damn laws so that if something goofy does happen, you know how to fight the shit.
Okay, and this is my thing. This is questions I want to ask you. When they go out there picking a jury, right? Do they just pick random people, or do they just pick, or they got select people who they pick?
I don't know how they do their jury process.
Wait, real quick.
Hold on, Chicky, before we get off that.
I don't know how they pick their jury process. I don't know.
Okay, the reason why I'm asking those questions, I've been in court a lot of times. The jury that they always, I'm always seeing in court, all white. But when these officers kill, like do something to a black man, whatever, and all that other stuff, they're gonna pick all white jurors. They're not gonna pick no whole bunch. Guess what? Jurors is the ones that determine.
Just let him get this.
Hold on, JB. The jurors are the ones that determine the fate of the person.
Do you know how jury selection
works? So they
works?
know how to handpick a lot of those jurors.
Jay Prince, do you know how jury selection works?
How do it work?
Did you, in those cases that you had a jury? Are you talking about your cases or other people's cases?
Cases in general.
You can't say cases in general. That's why I asked you that
it's a different. When I be saying, like when I was in court, it was nothing but white. It was nothing but white.
You can stop right there. Jay Prince, you can stop right there. You have to understand how jury selection works before you can make a statement like that. That's what I'm saying. You can't just go. Jay Prince,
okay, how do it work then?
I'm trying.
No, how do it work?
Psychological questions that they ask you.
There's a process for jury selection. There's a process. They first of all they send you all that. I can go pull my last jury.
They ask
jury,
right?
And I'm black.
Races and all that. They ask you the whole length of questions and all that other stuff. Yes, I understand.
It's psychological, yeah. So
what I'm trying to get at is that there is a jury selection process, and both sides get to actually participate in picking who gets to make it on the jury. So you cannot just look at a jury and say, look, it's just all white people, when it's actually very dependent on each case and which attorneys are on the case and what the specifics of the case are, etc. So it doesn't make sense to just say, look at all those juries.
No, my point is, JB, when you think about these police shootings or when white people commit crimes, everybody that's on the jury you might got one half-breed person that's on the case, on the jury. Everybody relates to them in the same color. And that's how they always keep getting off. They not going to pick nobody like us.
We don't want to do jury duty. We constantly want to get out of it too, Jay Prince. So you got to look at it other ways than that. I hear blacks complain all the time about doing jury duty. I did jury duty. It was boring and all that stuff. But it's a psychological test. Psychological questions that they ask you. Just like when you are asking questions on a test or on these exams trying to get hired for a job, it's all psychological. It's something that they're looking for in you, whether it's leadership or whatever position that you're applying for. That's how they answer the question.
So with that being said, what you're saying is a lot of black people don't keep failing that test.
Right. Basically, could be.
Oh, right. So so black people is stupid in America.
No, it's not stupid. We just have a different mind. We just have a different mindset. But
so we just have a different mindset, right?
Well, hold on. O.J. Simpson, not to bring his name up, but his jury was mainly black. I'm just saying.
And then he get off.
OJ was acquitted.
Right. He got off when his jury looked like him.
You know what? I stuck myself. I stuck myself with
Right.
that one.
He got off when his jury looked like him.
I did it to myself.
Think about it.
Why are we?
How come white
I
people?
put
Hold on.
executive order in the chat
to.
if anybody want to go and do
All right,
research.
Jay Prince,
This
let
what
me
I
ask
was
you a
leading to.
question.
How come?
Hold up,
Hold on, JB. This what I was
Jay
leading
Prince, let me ask you a
to.
question.
How come
Jay Prince, let me ask you a
when
question.
white police
Jay Prince, let me
officers
ask you a
kill
question.
up a black person?
Let me ask you a
How
question.
come the jury
Jay
ain't
Prince,
full with blacks?
Jay Prince, let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question.
Because they
if I
will be
got
getting
called,
found
Jay
guilty
Prince,
a lot more.
Jay Prince, hold up. Let me ask you a
Be
question.
surprised.
If I got called to be on a jury, if I got selected to be on a jury,
You might be right, Arista, because these niggas would have found these cops innocent.
Jay Prince, can you just hear Jay Prince, hear my question real quick? If the JB that you know, if I got selected to be on a jury for a dude who killed some black people in the hood, do you think I would be working in their favor?
No.
That's what I just said to Arista.
No,
I said,
I want you to answer. Just answer. Yes
no,
or no.
I don't think you will. But
Okay, so stop right there.
if I was on jury duty,
Jay Prince,
I'm finding every nigga innocent just like they do they white.
There.
Oh, you
Jay
need
Prince,
to stop.
Jay Prince will stop right there. What I'm
Yeah.
trying to get at you is that this is the problem with looking at life like fucking crayons. Humans are complex, right? So when people just keep doing this representation shit and it's just crayons, like you're looking at everybody like crayons, there might be some funky white liberal on the jury that would actually vote in favor of saving some dude's life who killed somebody in the hood. I'm not gonna do it. So you might actually have a white person. You might have a white person that might actually side with you with some dude that shot up the hood. So when we look at life
They
like
don't
a bunch
side
of
with
crayons,
us.
JB, have you ever
Man, that jury don't give a. We have two different lifestyles. They automatically finding us guilty. That's why you think the liberation don't take nothing but 2 hours to come up with their fucking decision. They knew we was guilty. They already planning on that we was gonna be guilty before we even.
So based on understanding what
they doing to us. Why is black people trying to be this white people and trying to be all this right and loving and trying to be equal? Everybody else gonna look out for their own kind.
You're just yelling, and it's not.
No. Everybody else gonna look out for their own kind, like they've been doing since we've been here.
Jay Prince, it's not
Y'all
about
niggas just too ignorant to see that.
Jay Prince,
all right,
check this out. Jay Prince, check this out. It's not
based
about
on
my
the
own kind.
understanding that we have from OG
If some dude in the hood goes,
law
if some
that's
dude in
being
the hood goes
voted
and
on every
shoots up the
15
hood,
years
right? If some
is
dude
only
goes and
dealing with
shoots,
Section 5.
listen. Let me just say this to Jay Prince, right? Jay Prince, it's not about my own kind. If
Why are you
some
trying
dude
to tell
goes
Jay
and
Prince?
if some dude goes and shoots up the hood, I don't care if he looks like me. I don't give a shit.
Okay, but
I don't give a damn.
I understand where you come from, JB. Trust me, I do. But it's been a lot of white people done shut up communities, and they got on. But there was those
y'all gotta stop.
And they was looked out for their own kind, and the most he probably got either found acquitted or he got put in a mental institution for a few years and went home.
Who Jay Prince? Who Jay Prince?
Stop. Please stop entertaining.
So all them shooters, these people getting found with
stop
insanity.
Entertaining this. Y'all gotta learn to just
y'all try to make it seem like America is just fair for niggas.
Right.
That's gaslighting as hell.
Okay,
and y'all never been to court.
So what?
Who
ain't never
been to court? Who ain't never been to court?
I'm saying my
brother went on trial for murder. He was a 2-time felon and got off on a murder charge. So I really ain't trying to hear that.
God dang! Stop entertaining ignorance. We've got to do better as a people. We're not entertaining this.
What you mean entertaining? Who ignorant?
Who start entertaining?
I guess you the one that's highly educated.
Guess what I've learned? Guess what I've learned from looking at what OG was saying. OG, you're right. They do every 15 years. They do come back to look at the Civil Rights Voting Act, or not Civil Rights, but the Voting Act of 1965. But it's they look at and put under review is Section 5 of 19 of the Voting Rights Act, and based on the understanding of the justice.gov, they're the ones that supplying this information. It says important to understand that Section 5 applies only to changes in practices and procedures affecting voting. Continuous use of voting practices in effect prior to jurisdiction coverage date does not implicate Section 5, nor does it continue use of a practice already reviewed under Section 5. So it's not an amendment, but what it seems to be doing is taking a look and continuously updating Section 5 of the voting right of the
I
Voters'
didn't
Right
never say
Act.
it was amendment, Chicky.
It would
I
never
said
be
it
Wait,
was
wait,
denied.
a
I didn't.
special.
Basically, that's what the
Wait,
law is
stop,
That
saying.
niggas don't be
Jay,
listening to no
Go
chicken
ahead and
them
finish,
because
Chicky.
if you
Go ahead
go
and
in there and
finish.
try to
Go ahead
fight
and
that
finish.
case, you're gonna
OG.
Go
lose.
ahead and
I'm not
finish, Chicky.
OG.
Jay
OG.
Prince, let
I'm not
Chicky
saying.
finish.
I'm not OG. I'm not saying that you said it was an amendment, but the based off of the structure of it, it seems to be similar, right? They don't take anything old and keep it in place. They renew it, right? So if you look at Section 5, it addresses, or at least the updates on it, right? Because it happens every 5 to 10 years, and in 2006 they extended it from 5 to 25 years. It's taking a look at how voting is done today, and actually how how today's voting is done. So we have things like immigrants now that America didn't have back in the past, as far as like the amount, right? Immigrants have always existed, but there's still ways to make sure that they still have voting rights as well, and that includes non-discriminating and where they live, non-discriminating things like having to take a test to see if you're smart enough to vote, and all of those things. All of that
Chicky.
was covered in
Chicky,
Section
can
5.
I ask you a
Chicky.
question?
Chicky.
Can I ask
Well,
you a
no,
question?
can I ask him a question before he started?
Go
My
ahead.
whole sentiment, Chicky, was that we're all American citizens.
Okay,
And
right.
for us to still have special vision for to have an executive order when American black men have fought in every fucking war from the beginning, for
Right.
us to have a executive order to put in our face and say this executive order could be stricken down anytime. You know, executive order could just be killed by any other president coming into place. Why is that provision not for any other? Can I say, God damn it!
Hang man on that. Come on, you gotta let them finish it.
My sentiment of this whole thing, Chicky, was to show that if anybody believed that we have arrived and we don't have old antiquated laws and executive orders on the books to keep us whole in this country, that no other person or citizen have to have that provision, then we have lost our monkey ass minds. That's what I'm saying.
Can I-
Our rights to be able to vote will never be taken
I
away
didn't say
from
we
the
couldn't
black.
fight it.
Wait. Can I respond to this, please?
I didn't say that we can't fight it. I didn't say we can't go to court. I didn't say any of that. What I'm saying is that there are laws still on the books. The ticket went to the service. A lot of men went to service from the revolution to all the other wars we have fought and won. We was the first one to open up the chambers and Germany. And we still had to eat in the back of the porch while the officer of the German officer ate in our chow hall. See, this is the disingenuous that we don't understand that other people look at us on every level. And that's why they have the mindset they have, is because we got these little things floating on the bottom of our feet that we don't even talk about.
OG.
Can I please respond to this? And then I'm gonna
Okay.
leave. I just want to
Okay.
respond to this.
Got you.
Because I already answered this question before. When you said what you said, OG, about the renewing it, them renewing it, okay? We are the only group of people in this country that was listed as being less than human. Okay? Now, if you took away the Voters' Right Act, if you took away them renewing the freaking act, then we would fall back under that original law. You're talking about it as if it's a negative thing. I get what you're saying. The problem is in the legality of it. In the legality of it, if you did not have that renewal, if you did not have that Voters' Rights Act, if you did not have the 14th Amendment, we would fall back under that old law.
But we were not talking about the 14. We are talking about, look, if the 14 supposed to cleared up everything from us being, listen what I'm saying. We don't have to renew the 14th Amendment. We weren't even talking about that. What we are talking about is other things put in place after the 14th Amendment. The 14th Amendment supposed to clear it up the Second Amendment. Okay? This is not that Second Amendment. Was it a first or the third? I don't know which one it was. But it's supposed to clear it up that 3/4 of a human being thing. All right? We can deal with that. If that's the case, the 14th clears it up. That means we are all citizens. We shouldn't have special provision to make us go into service. We shouldn't have special provision to make us have to look at it, to be asked a man how many bubbles in a bar of soap to be able to vote. That's the silly shit that that part of the fifth you talking about. These are the things that they used to do to us when we go to vote. How many bubbles in a bar of soap? And there's no answer you can give correctly. So this is the stupid shit that these people had to do. But this shit is still on the books where they have to vote on it. You say 15-5. This is the kind of bullshit I'm talking about. That was my only sentiment. That look here, people. Look here, people. We can overcome anything. There's nobody over me, nobody superior over me. We can overcome anything. But as for us to sit around and act like that these laws, when the FBI and all these other, they take surveys, they go into the books and show you the unfair sentence that people of color get versus everybody else. But we act like it don't make any difference at all. When the FBI and all these other people put these statistics out to say we the bad people in the community, y'all go with them statistics. But when the FBI go in there and do their own check of the police department and the court system and show that the unfair sentence for the same crimes when it comes to people of the color, y'all don't want to talk about that. But y'all don't talk about how bad we are in the community.
OG, nobody.
Hold on, Jake. Let me figure out with Chicken. Go ahead, Chicken.
OG, I understand what you're saying, and no one's saying that there's a more. All right, I'm not making a moral argument about what was did and what was done. All I'm saying is, right, the point of the conversation, or the point where you're standing on, was there has to be a level of authority and order. Every society has it, right? So if you want to, if that's the thing that we're hitting at, I'm not necessarily disagreeing with the idea that, hey, maybe, some of these laws, since they're antiquated, you remove them. I don't run the system and I didn't create the system, right? Maybe it makes sense to do that in my head, but if
we don't know about them, Chicky, they'll never be removed because we keep thinking we have a right.
But that's the thing. That's what I'm saying is, even with them being known about, there's still some system to make sure that the previous law is replaced based on the current, right? The meeting or the review that happens technically every 25 years since 2006, since Bush signed, because it was an extension from 5 to 10 to 25. So now that there's been a change, you can't go back and revert back.
I'm not even asking that. I'm asking us to be treated like every other citizen. And JB never came back and said, you know what? I didn't know these things. JB never came back and said the executive order that you talked about for the men to go to the Marines, the Air Force, the Navy. I didn't know about that. No, you don't have to argue with me because the actual facts is black and white on paper. You're not arguing with me, you're arguing with the laws and the executive order. You can't argue with me, it's actually there.
Okay, so no, I'm not arguing. I'm coming back with information that you gave, and based off of the information, what they do, the review that you're talking about, only happens under Section 5, and you can't revert back to the previous ruling. You have to continue forward. So there's a system in place to make sure that there's no quote unquote, I guess, immoral. There's some level of efficacy to this, right? I'm not saying.
Well, how about the executive order? We'll drop that one. What about the executive order? That we have to have that nobody else has to have.
That executive order was for no longer desegregating the armed forces. So stuff like Red Tails and the Tuskegee Airmen, those things where they had their own Air Force and they had the lesser planes and things of that nature. All the executive order, both of them actually deal with the defense industry and not the military specific. So Executive Order 9985 1 dealt with the desegregation of the armed forces in 1948, while Executive Order 8802 dealt with the prohibition of discrimination in the defense industry, which you can say that they're similar, and they are, but they're not the exact same. So you
Okay,
can have.
that's not
Go ahead.
that's Chicky. I understand what you're saying, but what the problem with that is, if we had this across the book and it was dealing with every race in the United States, me and you're not even having an argument. The problem is, executive order is so easy to kill. If they ever decide to kill that executive order, oh well.
And at the end of the day,
They're not gonna ever do that though.
well,
See, you never.
I can't speak to what's going to happen in the future with that. I mean, I understand what you're saying. The point can be made from that. But
These amendments have expiration dates.
I think at a point in time, at this point in time, I don't have a big enough conspiracy for the United States to just take that away. I'm not saying it can't happen, but
you know what I'm saying, chicken. I'm not just saying that. I'm saying if we all are citizens as we want to believe and we want to love this country and wrap this flag around us until they get these equated laws and these executive orders where we all become one at the same level and stop having these special provisions for people you say we ain't special. So if we ain't special, why we got these special provisions?
Okay, well, look, I'll concede to that point. I don't. If they, you're saying if we're not any different than anybody else, then why are there all of these provisions? I think that's a valid question. I don't have an answer for you because I haven't done enough information. I haven't looked this all up. So I'll get back to you when I find out.
I'll send you some information. If you would like for me to do it, I'm telling people way smarter than me, bro. There's some people way smarter than me. This is their life. This is what they do. They're retired military men. This is their life. And so I'm telling you something that people that I listen to, the people I respect. And I'm telling you, this is heartfelt through all our trials and tribulations that we came so far. And I'm not saying that we can't win any game they put in front of us. We got to play the cards they put in front of us. I understand that. But I'm so tired of brothers who come on these internet and try to act like all of us the same in this country. We all American. We all bleed blood. A fucking dog bleed blood. So stop saying this goofy shit and let's get these antiquated laws off the book so black people can feel like they're all American.
Right.
So, OG, what I'm gonna say is this. You're saying let's get these things off the books, but you just said as well, you can't know what's on the books if you're ignorant. So, I appreciate you giving me things to look up, and I'm glad that you know about them. But let me finish because y'all was going back and forth, and I patiently waited, right? So here's what I'm gonna say in conclusion to the whole thing. Can we agree that we still need authority and law?
Yes, sir.
Just period.
Okay,
yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's all. Because Jay Prince.
No, the authority that we've been having, we don't need.
I'm just saying, Jay Prince.
You got white people. Hold on, G. You got white people who tell you that black people get treated very unfairly in the court of law.
Fine, but all I'm gonna say is this:
we need to tackle that though.
And we didn't down out the
That's the thing. Why are so many black men getting in trouble in the first place?
Hold on. But we can't continue to keep holding on. Well, don't commit crimes. Be perfect.
Basically, it's a
Be
fact.
perfect. Oh, that's some sack of shit.
No, it's not.
Police services did
First off, you haven't committed a crime. When we go to court, we are accused of a crime.
Jay Prince. Okay, so Jay Prince, all the times you got arrested.
Hold on, the reason we get found guilty.
Jay Prince, all the times
you got niggas on the jury
Jay
trial.
Prince. All right, see, you said this jury thing again. Jay Prince, you see this? You see what this says? Hold up. You see what this says?
I wonder who you love to be a jury.
All right, Jay Prince,
Let's talk about that.
All right.
A machine sent you that, right? A machine sent you that, right?
Right, a machine sent him that, not a
Sent
person.
you that, right? They
We'll
can
build
say
a
that they can say that the jury selection machine was broken, right?
We'll build
And
a
then what they
machine.
have, each county has pre-selected jurors where they can just call people at a moment's notice and say we need jurors, and all them people that's gonna march into that courtroom, white.
See, the funny thing is, look, all I did was show an envelope. You already jumped to a million conclusions. You don't even know what the case is about. You don't even know what this is about. You don't even know how far along I got. You don't know anything, but you immediately told me everything. This is what I love about Negroes, bro. This is what I love about.
How come I never received none of those envelopes?
Hey, but don't they know when you're
Because you're a felon.
Don't they know
I'm not a felon. I'm not a felon.
Don't you have a long date?
And I want to go back, JB. I want to go back to that test you were talking about. I think about those same type of psyche tests, like when we go for a job and stuff. How many people know how to pass that?
I do. I got my job right here.
You as well.
I got a good job. I got a good job.
Okay, let me ask you then, Arissa. Hold on, let me ask you, Arissa. When you take those tests and stuff for the jobs and stuff, do you operate when you go into the workforce? Do you operate the exact same way, like how they operate, how they test, the questions that they ask you? Are you the same way on the job, like on that test? Because basically they tell you gotta be damn perfect to work at the job. And that's a lie.
If they hire me to do leadership roles, the exam is going to be surrounded. They're going to look at my leadership and when I answer certain questions, or not have you stolen anything, or what would you do if if a coworker was stealing, all that stuff. Yes, you have to answer.
And we lie. We lie on them exams.
What?
Yes, we lie on that exams.
And that's why you don't pass. And that's why you don't pass.
No, that's how we do pass.
It tells you to be honest with them.
No, Arissa, what I'm saying is,
have you stolen anything? Have you taken a pen?
Majority of them jobs, hold on, Arissa.
That wasn't yours. Yes.
Arissa,
you answer those
a majority of them jobs, because I work in the healthcare field, I got to fill these things out
I work
on
in
a regular
healthcare
basis.
too. I work from home.
Oh no, majority of them jobs, I know what to say to get me in the job, but in reality, once I'm start working, I don't practice none of them rules.
Well, that's you don't have a high enough position.
Hold on, Arissa. That's no different from those jurors taking those tests, passing it, and getting jury, and still go to their regular natural habitat.
Let me tell you, hold on, let me tell you something. They
People who take a driver license test do not drive the same way they take them damn driver license tests. They drive like crazy as hell after they pass the test.
I can't take a job for leadership and not act like a leader. So that's on y'all. That's on y'all. I do, and actually, I do drive like I do. That's why I don't have tickets. So that's on y'all.
Arissa, you are not the same. You don't operate the same when you like how on that test.
In America.
If
I'm managing people, do you know how a boss man looking at me? Do you know that I could also be represented or written up if I'm not acting within the role that I was hired for? Are you kidding me?
That's how they rock us to sleep.
Peace and love, I gotta go. Chicken, thank you.
That ain't how they came in practice.
That's not true. That's on you if you don't act like that.
JB, I still got you right on. Right on.
Thank you. Thank you. So, Colin, one second. This is the first time.
You're still my guy, OG. You're still my guy, but
this.
Hey, OG.
Bye.
Y'all take it. Hey, Jay. Hey, keep him straight, Under Jay. Keep him straight. Keep him straight, baby. Keep him straight.
Yeah, let's pick up the line because this is the first time where I can agree that Auntie J should change the conversation to pussy and dick. Auntie J. Please do what you
want. Conan, what you gotta say about this, Conan?
I'm tired of having a label that's all I talk about.
Yeah, please, Auntie J, please do it again. Do it.
I know more than that. Come on now.
Conan the Barbarian. What you got to say about this?
What? We make hits.
She used to use me for attention, cause she saw who I could be.